Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now Tua Togavailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
In motion left goes a tight end. Throwing to start here is Tua. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A huge play there right off the bat. 53 yards. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he's brought down. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17.
Boy, no problem. Getting down the field here on this opening drive, they've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up first and goal.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Alec Ingold, that's his 18th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
And he's exactly the man you want in control of your offense. Excellent arm, good zip on the ball, not afraid to use his legs when he needs to. And when he's excelled at doing is making plays when the first read isn't available or when the pressure's about to get to him.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. So already trailing, Charles, they opted to try to take a shot on their first play from scrimmage. Obviously, that one didn't pan out.
Absolutely not. And how about the momentum that's being created now? You score, you take it away, big return. You got a chance to go up 2 touchdowns here early in the game. That'll feel great for their team.
On first down, Togavailoa. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. Can't take your foot off the gas pedal at this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk with one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
Throwing is Togavailoa on third down here. And this is caught inside the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Wilson fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard. That.
What in the fucking world was that? What the fuck?
It's all down to the 2. From the 2 now, second and goal. On the give, this is their fullback. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Alec Ingold with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game, as his guys are able to extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
This defense for the Dolphins, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. Called out a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be first and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami. 50.
You're just not getting
4
open.
yards. Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Togavailoa to throw. Gets this one to Hill. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Looking to pass. Tua. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hawkins, and the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now 3rd and goal. Mostert is into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Well, fans of old school football, they got to be loving this partner. All 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring by pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They begin this drive with Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just with the Browns.
I can never get anything like that.
It's needed there. Good for a gain of 17. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Watson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Watson. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
How is this not fucking holding? is that not fucking holding? Jesus fucking Christ. What the hell? How is this not fucking holding?
On fourth down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Tua now on first down. And going deep for Hill. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
What the hell? Are you kidding me? Not even bothered.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Tua. He's going to try and go deep again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Cleveland offense making their way out. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. To throw is Watson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And Watson has enough for the first down yardage as he's... Slides to the turf. Here's Watson. Fighting to stay, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. After the sack on first down, Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. Only able to gain a couple there. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Right back to Njoku. And boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. Here's Corey Bojorquez to punt this thing away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it. Quality coverage that time to slow down what's been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tua, he's going to go up top again. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Miami. 46-yard.
Are you ever going to get open? You're never going to beat this guy.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Tua sets up to pass it. Open, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
What the fuck is this? Why so slow?
His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Operating from the gun. Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down. Back to throw. Watson. He'll bite. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Brown racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Watson going to keep it again. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets touchdown.
Tyreek Hill, 49 yards. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had to quote it back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me,
oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Up the middle they go. Hawkins. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Browns getting set to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defender.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Quay Walker, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Watson on 3rd down. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Off of play action, it's Watson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Derek Brown able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Watson gets this one to Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Watson. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Forced that he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jerome Baker, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
And here comes Raheem Mostert and the Miami offense. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally as well as your team.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Now a first down throw, Watson. That's caught. It's Demetric Felton. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Faking the give. Now Watson. Njoku with an impressive catch. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. From the 50, it's Watson. And he'll just get rid of it.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. To the air yet again, Watson. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Vikings who are out in front. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. A couple of touchdown strikes there from Justin Fields. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded right at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half. Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Clay Walker brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've noted Primer.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jerome Baker getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things. But take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this, because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. He said, yeah, I do that, but one of his best friends is a world-ranked tennis player, and he talked about serves and how you change up, take pace off, do different things, and he incorporated that into his route running.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hawkins, and he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run, as we just saw there.
Okay. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. And let's get that ball. Yeah, let's get that ball right here.
A run with Mostert up the middle. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Stay with your man. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash. Switch it. Go.
Up the middle they go. Hawkins. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for a Dolphin score. Alec Ingold with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Browns set to take over. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Emmanuel Agba picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Watson, and that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might... Fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down a defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Wilson with a first down carry. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hawkins, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They hand it off to Mostert. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
2nd down. Here's Mostert again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and handle it a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll run with Gaskin. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Alec Ingold taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Dolphins use the short field to get in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Well, this has been a tough one for him, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing, and now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, This defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
A give. This is Wilson. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day. Check 50, check 50. Check.
On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
Pull it together. 6 guard. Check 6 guard. Switch, switch, switch.
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Mostert. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Alec Ingold punching it in from a yard away. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
From just shy of midfield, Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Running the counter with Mostert. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter. And with those types of runs, that tells you that they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hawkins. Just a yard on the 1st down carry.
So it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Hawkins. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Wilson, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. This is Mostert, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. On the ground, it's Wilson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you get contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Escaping, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back to throw, Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So holding on the offense, they go ahead and decline the penalty, and the ball will change hands on the fumble recovery. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it. We're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for Miami, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.